Hi, for Education 590's Hot Topic assignment, Teacher Evaluations by William Benson and Cecilia Salem. There are a lot of different opinions and some confusion about teacher evaluations. Some say that they're horrible, they stress everybody out, and they do not show an accurate representation of the teacher's abilities. Is this true? How exaggerated are these claims? Others say that teacher evaluations are necessary. Otherwise, it is too easy for a teacher to abuse his or her tenure and not to be the best that they can for their students. How accurate is this side? To find out, we explored various resources and conducted an interview with Bassam Salem, a math teacher of over 25 years. First, what are teacher evaluations? Who is evaluated? How often are you evaluated? Being a teacher means that you're evaluated every day. It is a public profession and just goes with the territory. Whether it's from an administrator who just happens to drop in, or a parent, students, or the custodians, teachers are being observed and evaluated at all times. In order to raise student achievement by improving the overall quality of instruction, administrators assess their teachers on key points of instruction and presentation. Here are some ways of measuring an educator's effectiveness. Observations are the key method. Observations of teachers, instructional artifacts, portfolios, teacher self-report measures, parent and student surveys, value-added models, student performance measures, school climate surveys, 360-degree surveys, and combination tools. You'll probably be evaluated many times over the course of your career. During the first 10 or 15 years, you'll be evaluated every 2 years. After that, it's typically once every 5 years. Second, what is their purpose? Why do we have these? Who benefits? Besides those listed here, administrators, district, students, who else might benefit from teacher evaluations? Some people feel that it is politically oriented action. They probably feel the grip that the government has on education and dislike it. Do you think that this is mostly political? Example, why do it? Because the government says we have to? Or mostly educational? This helps our students. Well, for the Department of Education's take, by themselves, they are not effective at significantly improving the quality of all teachers and educators. Who is recruited, how they are prepared, how they are developed, supported, and retained are also huge factors. And to ensure educational quality, they are designed to promote professional development in all teachers and administrators. By providing feedback, the teachers benefit through professional development. Through their educators' growth, the students benefit from a clearer, stronger leader. From the stability of teacher performance, increasingly evaluation data is being used as the basis for decisions about continued employment, tenure, promotion, and financial business. They portray this as an educational issue, but it's easy to see how they can turn into an issue of school politics. From teacher perceptions of the value, evaluations should give accurate, helpful, and timely feedback to the teachers. It helps develop a teacher's instructional capacity, which then helps the student's academic achievements. Professional development should align with areas of need. They portray this as an educational issue. Mr. Salem's take is the administration is always on the student side, so they are always willing, hoping, and praying to make a teacher and manipulating many things to help him become a very good teacher for the student's sake. Who conducts the evaluation? What is the procedure? The classroom visit. They often take the form of a set of 3 classroom visits in a single school year. One of the visits is planned between the teacher and the administration, and the other 2 are surprise visits. It is good to have all your materials at hand, a lesson plan, and the state standards, and have them on the board. After introducing the administrator, you should start your lesson immediately, and then continue on like a normal day. Brace yourselves, teacher evaluations are coming.
Evaluation day is here. What does it look like? Imagine this. You're preparing for a teacher evaluation. Predict some of the points that the administrators will evaluate you on. So pause here and try to think of some of the things you were evaluated on last time. So what is the administrator looking for during evaluation? Well, Bill told me they want a physical copy of lesson plans and any handouts. They're looking for your ability to manage your classroom, your time management. Make sure your state standards are visibly displayed on the board. All learners are being engaged and assessed, so don't leave anyone out. Don't let anyone be too disruptive. And lesson wrap-up refers back to state standard. Here are some tips. The do's and the don'ts. It includes do's. You must engage all learners, and you must refer back to state standards. You also have to understand that your administrator wants you to succeed. They want the best for all of your students. They want you to be the best you can be for all of your students. So, take deep breaths, feel the room, and move around while engaging the students. At the same time, don't try and be someone you're not. The kids will pick up on this. They know it's fake. They know this is not your normal teaching style, and they will respond accordingly. Never argue with a student. Ask them to leave if it gets out of hand. It just so happens that administration is sitting right next to you to help you with that. And remember too, don't allow the student to sidetrack your lesson by being disruptive. Tell them that you'll be right there and help them individually while the rest of the class works. Examples of classroom evaluations. This one is classroom observations again. Sometimes your form will look like this. Teacher and subject area, and it will tell you to turn in your plan to the administration before your initial meeting. You have the date of the conference, and you sign it, and the administration signs it. You need to have an action plan with accountability. In your school, it says describe your formative assessment strategies and how they will be used to measure student success moment to moment, daily and weekly. And then it wraps up with this, the action plan accountability, the teacher, the action plan and accountability. Question 5, guys. The results. Where do we go from here? The old teacher evaluation system. You're such a dedicated teacher. New evaluation system. You suck. Prove that you don't. The follow-up. Bill suggests to be humble and open to suggestions. Understand that the person evaluating you needs to write something in their file to justify their job. It may or may not pertain to what actually happened. They are obliged to make constructive criticism. So this goes back to one of the earlier readings. Remember, to be most effective, we want an evaluation to show us where we need improvements. And we want something to reinforce our good points. We don't just want filler on the paper. After every visit, you sit and they tell you what is commendable and what is an issue, and they give you advice. You need to demonstrate that you understand the feedback for the second and third visits. Otherwise, they might just come again the next year. In Mr. Salem's experience, he says that his evaluations have been pretty accurate to his teaching experience. He says it's been about 95% except for one time where the school's AP visited me on the day before Christmas break, 7th period. I was showing a movie. Everyone was showing movies. He told me that I could play math games instead. So in this case, Mr. Salem got off pretty easy. Administration, he understood what was going on, and Mr. Salem had done so well on his first 2 visits. Though he did still get feedback telling him, do more with math, of course. And this was fine, though it shows where teacher evaluations might have some tricky spots. Because it'd be very easy for administration to use these visits, the thread of it looming over the teachers, to essentially to bully them. To make them feel tense and on edge all the time. But that's only if you have, shall we say, less than ideal administration. But that doesn't happen often, especially in Mr. Salem's case. And the last question for you guys. Overall, are they worth it? from the stability of teacher performance, they say, data from their study of 132 teachers suggests that while teachers in the study tended to improve their performance ratings over time, the improvement in classroom performance did not translate into improved effectiveness ratings on average. So, in this study's case, there wasn't a very strong link between the evaluations and how well they did consistently. So yes, there was a little bit of a jump in performance, but it didn't really affect their scores later on. And possibly, is this a cause for concern? Goodwin and Webb point out that if a teacher's learning style does not match the evaluation, that is, if they don't have a constructivist view while the test does, then perhaps education agencies need to address the possible chasm between constructivist paradigm and the actual teaching and learning paradigm of the teachers. And I think this is an important part we should focus on. We should have evaluations for different learning styles. Perhaps we should have a constructivist approach for teachers that do well with constructivist approaches. And we should have an alternative form of evaluation for teachers who would prefer an alternative form, so long as both evaluations test the teacher for the same types of effectiveness. Do you guys think this is possible? Do you think this is even practical? Let me know in some comments, okay guys? Thanks for watching. See you later.